That's all right. So let me go ahead and pull up the stream on my phone and we'll go ahead and get started. Let me also hit the go live button on TikTok. I want to say I went live. I know TikTok is live. That's showing live. You're showing live. Okay. Can I get it on my own channel? Ah, YouTube isn't cooperating with me. Maybe close everything. Ooh, that was pretty. Focus. Oh, wait a minute. That's why. Okay, there we go. Wrong account. Focus. Alrighty, so hello everyone and welcome to the stream. One day I'll try to get my shit together and do maybe like a waiting screen so nobody has to deal with my self-talk while I fumble with the stream setup, but just a lot of things to get done and I really do need to prioritize. So for anyone joining the stream, or if you go back and watch the stream, I have some exciting news and you'll probably see this you'll more than likely see this by the end of the stream. I think I'm going to post a welcome video tonight, and pretty much I've decided to go ahead and start a vlog, pretty much documenting my journey as a small business. So I'm super excited. Vlogging is something that I've always wanted to do since I was a little kid. So that's going to be a new addition to the channel in the next coming hours. I already have the first week recorded. I just need to sit down and work with my video editor, or I need to edit the videos, I mean. And then from there, pretty much, yeah. I still need to edit the first vlog. I do have the welcome video, and I was hoping to get that welcome video out by yesterday, but unfortunately, I ran into an issue with my video editing software where apparently I could not use MP4 files because there was just some sort of compatibility issue with the video format. And so I was scrambling trying to figure out a way to get it compatible with my video editor, and thankfully I found a converter. And so yeah, now we have the now none of the stuff I recorded last week will go to waste because I recorded a portion of the vlog with my camera and then another portion of the vlog with my phone. And so the issue came with the phone um with the things coming out of my phone. So yeah, had to take a step back very briefly and get something that would help convert those sorry get convert those videos into something usable. Thankfully, I found a converter that did the trick, and so that's no longer an issue. I'll just have to set time aside to convert those phone files, and so yeah, we're one step closer to getting the first vlog finished. And I'm thinking for the first one, we're just gonna keep it relatively simple. And I'm not going to do any fancy intros or outros because right now I do want to focus on drawing. And so that may be stuff that will come later down the line as I find time. But for now, I do talk about this in the blog as well. that a friend invited me to table at a local convention with her in May. So right now my brain is very much on, and I think I'm pretty sure I mentioned this during the previous stream as well, that right now my brain is very much zeroed in on the fact that, oh, I need to make merch, I need to make more merch. So part of the reason why I'm working on Xavier and Caleb at the same time is to pretty much give myself, um, allow myself the time to get more products out. I even thought of another idea for some lads keychains today while I was at work, and really, really want to do them because I think they're a very cute idea. Okay, but I just want to save a reference. Ooh, I do not have that. I don't have that. Okay, that's the reason I was doing that. I'm gonna have to do some cleanup of my computer just to make more space for things because I can't keep all the video as much as I would love to keep all my video files. That is just not feasible. So, um, just like the way I don't like to merge my layers, I do not like to delete. Oh my gosh, I did. Okay, I need to log into. Sorry, I need to do my daily login for my CSP Clippy points really quickly. Then we'll. I swear to God, my brain's just scattered. My brain is just scattered this evening. But anyway, thought of some amigurumi because I do want to fill up my table with a few more amigurumis this come May. So I am working on a new. I am working on a new pattern for a larger crochet amigurumi. So that one is going to be a two-headed either bunny, cat, or bear, whichever one comes first. Where is it? There we go. Oh shoot, I saw this is still open in my sub view. No, I just want to get Caleb. I'm just pulling up a reference of Caleb right now because I'm gonna like start sketching in some of his details. I probably should get Xavier further along, but I kind of like I feel like getting more done on Caleb is gonna make me feel better. Wait, I have refs. I have a reference folder. God, it's been a hot minute. Oh, there we go. Let's go, Caleb. Okay. Food. The other reason I did that was because TikTok's. Okay, this should be a better quality than having. Yeah, that's better than having the screenshot. So. Okay. And I need a better view of his eye shape. Because I want to say they're almonds. I can't go any larger than that, but they do slant down. So they curve up and then slant down. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself. I don't really like. So I'm pretty sure his eye shape is closer to this. And you do get a little bit more of that downturn. I'm gonna reduce the size of my brush for the eyes. And so I do think curves upward, then it comes down a little bit, and then I was supposed to delete this layer. Okay. Okay. This is this really 22? No, that's not 22%. Where am I drawing? Of course. Of course. Of course I'm on the wrong layer. Of course. It's on the wrong layer. Of course I was. Of course I was. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. My brain is just wee. Yep, that's where I am right now mentally. I do feel like his eyes are a little bit more rounder. Like they're on the rounder side. I don't know if that's because of how his head is tilted. Like they do more of a okay, okay. I think that's the shape I want. The one thing I don't like about the symmetrical tool in CSP is that if you erase on one side, it doesn't carry over to the other side, but like any brush strokes do. I think okay, yeah, that's the eye shape we want. I think move them up a little higher. Just gonna do the thing. Eh, okay, I do think they need to go a little lower. Just minimize you a little bit, and they do need to go lower. And bigger too, honestly. We're gonna go ahead and just start getting the details sketched out on Caleb before we go ahead and jump in on Xavier. I feel like Caleb's eyebrows are always a little bit like slightly downturned. I'm still trying to figure out like how I want to draw noses long term. Because no, that's not gonna be it, but or if I'm just gonna do like the little and then we'll figure it out later, but for right now, that's where the nose is supposed to go. I'll go ahead and make that a little bigger. A little too big, but I want this to be a little bit more chubby. I'm gonna finish the chibi, these myth chibis first before I hop into. I don't think I was supposed to do that, but I'm gonna finish these myth chibis and then we are going to. I thought of some new set of merch designs. So one of the things that I do want to do, so I have some merch that I think is going to be really cute because it's going to be the boys smiling on one side and then being pouty little jealous messes on the other side. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to create one template to use for all of them. So that way the only thing that changes are like facial features or the things they're holding, because I think I'm gonna have them hold plush toys. For Xavier, with Xavier, like for me, the bunny plushie always stands out the most. So whenever I think of Xavier, I think of the bunny plushie instead of the alien that's supposed to be his. So I'm kind of torn if I want to do the bunny, because in my head it's like, oh, I'm gonna draw Xavier with the rabbit and squeezing the life out of that rabbit. But then I realized, wait a minute, Xavier's plush toy is actually the alien. So I'm a little torn on that, whether I want to do the bunny for Xavier or the bunny for Xavier or the bunny for Xavier or the alien for Xavier. Sorry, I just needed it too. I swear, my brain today is just Caleb, you're gonna have so many things going on here, aren't you, buddy? Aren't you? This is how you're gonna choose to torture me. Speaking of Caleb, I got his anniversary card for the Throne of Eros. I'm so excited to watch it. And that was pretty much the goal. Like, the three that I wanted to get for this event were Silas, of course. I'm a Silas main, so he needs to come home. And Raphael. For me, so thankfully Raphael did come home with pity. So I was able to get Silas through the guarantee. And I was so close to not getting Caleb, but then I realized, like, oh, wait a minute. If I can make, if I can get 2 more pulls before the event ends, then I can get the wish crate. And thankfully, I was able to get him through the wish crate. But part of me was thinking if I could get enough points, maybe I could get. I was thinking a little bit too selfishly, and I was thinking, okay, maybe I can get him and Xavier or Zane if I'm able to get, I think, another 50 pulls, and then I forget. I'm working with symmetry, so what I do to one side happens to the other. So I was thinking maybe I could get both Caleb and maybe either Xavier or Zane, and then I realized, like, that's just going to be a replay of the Catch-22 banner. Given that the Catch-22 banner is the event I spent money on, and we do not talk about that credit card history. So yeah, I figured I could do that, but then I would feel like I would go for Zane, and little Miss Me doesn't have self-control. That's the reason I don't gamble, aside from the fact that traditional gambling kind of bores me, but gacha gambling is a whole different story. But yeah. So long story short, we got Caleb, but we did not get Xavier or Zane. And it's probably better that way. You know, I wish to know the part of my brain that decided we were going to begin this by like just jumping into his costume itself. Like, brain, hello, what we were. I told my brain that we were going to work on his hair first. I don't know what happened. Is his Am I gonna really draw like am I really gonna like draw out am I gonna draw chibi abs? Am I seriously gonna draw chibi abs for this one? I forget with what direction these are supposed. I think yeah, no, these are supposed to go. Supposed to be arrows pointing upward. I'm gonna fix the. Am I seriously gonna draw chibi abs for this one? Because I honestly cannot believe myself if I am. For like the Tokyo Revengers Q gets the Mikey one, the one where his jacket is open in the front. That Q get actually has his abs, and I'm just Liza and I laugh at it every so often because it's like, what even is this? Because I sent her a picture one time, so when I first got him. But yeah, the Tokyo Revengers Mikey Q casket comes with abbed Mikey. You know, it took me the longest time to realize that he actually does have a bit of mesh suit on. And the funny thing is that the metal parts literally follow the line, the V, his V line. So that might actually be. I'm probably gonna have to move this up a little. What the? Not expecting that color change. Because by this part he does have. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for that is create. I'm gonna give him low rising panties. And then, because the thing to remember about mecha suits is that they're very heavily segmented in certain areas. And a lot of those areas sometimes tend to be where the joints are supposed to move freely. But he is also machine. Where are his panties? Yeah, so he's got. Yeah, this is where his legs kind of overlap in how I posed him. Because it goes down to the shin. Okay. I will. I will turn off the camera when I go into the red sketch on that piece, but for now it's gonna go ahead and just stay like that. And the thing is, they're not gonna be touching for each other. They're gonna be more around here, and then there's gonna be a shiny piece there. And then you got the piece of the shin guard going down. I think he's too tall for my proportions. I'm gonna have to bring Silas out. Okay. No, his legs might be fine. It just might be me. Also, he takes up more of the canvas, so I may have to make him smaller as well. Yeah, certain areas I feel like they. Part of it too is that his features are chubbier than I would like. Yeah, he got a little bit too thick thighs, so I'm gonna have to decrease that a little bit. His thighs 250. We're nuking his thighs. I'll get references for feet later, but for now that'll do. And he does have. I did not mean to color pick the reference. He does have a couple of like details along the armor, and he does have a cape, doesn't he? Yeah, he has a. How does the cape? Oh, okay. So that comes out of his utility belt. Need the dip there, so they're coming out of here. Get the ruler on. And he does have one in the back. I think these are going to be his fingers. If his hands are upturned, the thumb is on the other side. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of lines coming out of his costume, and no, the little lines there. His thighs are too long. His thighs are definitely too long. His proportions are still a little bit off. I'm going to have to fix them. His thighs are definitely too thick. And I will draw in his knives, but I'll go ahead and say that for a little later because I'm just going to make one and then rotate them around him. His part. Oh, and he does have a little bit. It's barely noticeable, but he does have like a little gold fleck along his cheeks. Okay. Need to remember that for later. So turn off the ruler. So his hair does part on the side. His hairstyle is very much like Zayn's, that it parts. It's just on the other side. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just loosely sketch it in because his hair doesn't pass too far off. That's actually thinking too. Because his hairstyle, in a way, for me, like the way I see it, it's pretty similar to Caleb's. Or this is Caleb. Pretty similar to Zayn. And I hate to say this, but for me, sometimes that's what makes Zayn cosplayers. And and Caleb cosplayer is difficult for me to differentiate if, like, I don't know, I just think that their hairstyles are just similar but just flip-flopped. And then sometimes like I need to do a double take just to make sure like, okay, yes, that is 8. No, it's like, no, 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 wait, that's Caleb. I don't know, it's just a weird me thing. For some reason, I struggle with the two's hairstyles. Because again, like I said, in my opinion, they're very similar in terms of cut. Of course, Zane has black hair, Caleb has more. Caleb's hair is supposed to be brown, right? Oh fuck. The other person whose hair I struggle drawing with is Xavier. His cheeks are too round. I need to bring them up. His eyes are too small. I need to turn on the ruler. Okay, bringing up the chin helped quite a bit. Okay, and I'm probably... Okay. I'll go ahead and leave Zane like this for now. I'll leave Zane like this for now. Jesus Christ. I'll leave Caleb like this for now. I think this is a pretty solid place to get started for his blue sketch, and while I'm at it, I do want to... I just want his... Is there a way to make sure? Nope. Nope. Because I want to make sure he stays centered on the ruler. Okay, a little smaller. Okay. Alrighty. I forget my mic is right next to my neck, so uncomfortable sounds at times, I guess. Sorry. Okay, let me get Xavier opened up because Xavier is in a much more rougher state compared to Caleb. So I'll leave Caleb where he's at. I'm gonna go ahead and shift gears over to Xavier. And like I said, I want to keep them at roughly very similar stages so that they're moving, their progress is moving together. So we'll go ahead and get started on Xavier next. And Xavier's only got one layer for sketching, so he's very rough. Excuse me. Okay. Okay. If I ever say like okay an excessive amounts of times, it's me trying to tell my brain like, okay, no, we got this, we know what we're doing, we know what we're doing. Sometimes I need to look at my drawings and just remind myself I need to trust in the process. But then sometimes when things don't look right, it's hard to trust the process. And you need to take a step back. And like I said, I know this is supposed to be my chibi art style, but sometimes it's like it's so easy to forget how you're supposed to draw. Even though like this is the art style I intentionally moved it towards. And I've been drawing more chibis than anything lately. So sometimes it's just like I'm drawing this close to every week. How am I struggling with the proportions? But if anything, it's just gonna lead to like the next evolution for these chibis. So while I refine how to draw them, like they're going to evolve with time and as I do them. So like that shouldn't be surprising, but there's also a certain sense of consistency I want to keep, especially since this is part of a larger series. And so weird putting it back there. I actually haven't done a side profile view since Raphael, and Raphael's the first one I started working on. So it's been a while since I've done these side views. A lot of them have been forward facing lately. And the thing to remember is that the shoulders for these guys are actually supposed to be quite small. And right now this Xavier is kind of on the large side. Did I make Caleb's neck that thing? Because I do need to make Caleb's neck that thing. I am sleepy. I am eepy. I am so sleepy. There's stuff that I want to do. Did I mention that I got a Yeti? And it's not for streaming purposes. I've been so like in the clutches of book talk, and specifically like I've been using audiobooks so that it's just easier for me to fit in reading while I'm working and just listening to an audiobook. I started listening to Heated Rivalry as well before I touched the TV series. I just wanted to read, or I just wanted to experience the book first, or the source first, before hopping into the to the to the Netflix adaptation, just to see how it differs, because I'm hearing that the director also added a few things to kind of help richen the story even more when it comes to um, the the gay experience. And there's a scene with I believe Shane's mom that I've already seen the spoiler to, and people have already been talking about it, so I did not avoid the spoiler. I'll be honest, Heated Rivalry is probably one of the series where I'm okay with receiving spoilers, so I don't mind them as much. But I already saw a part that involves like pretty much I've seen the discussion on it too, but pretty much Shane coming out to his parents and it being like a very heartwarming moment. And I would say Heated Rivalry definitely falls on the more like light gay awakening. Well, is gay awakening the right one? But based off of the book so far, it's just like coming to terms with your own homosexuality and like processing the fact that you are attracted to the same gender or to members of the same gender. And right now, I'm kind of like I'm finding Shane's story. Like, there's a part in the book where he's going like, yeah, I definitely like girls. I've dated girls. I kiss girls regularly still. Like I enjoy this, right? And it's just like facepalm for me because I said the exact same thing in high school, but kind of like I read yaoi, I read BL, like I've had crushes on guys. Like I definitely like guys. Like there's no way I'm gay. And I know, like, I look back on, I think I was maybe 14 or 15 when that left my mouth. And I'm looking back on it like, sweet summer child, all the things in your life that should have been good enough hints to the fact that no, no, you were not as straight as you thought you were. But yeah, no, it's like that part of the book was like just very relatable because I remember when I was still in high school, I said the exact same things. By the time I was in college, guess what? But yeah. Yeah, I just like when we got to that portion of the book, I'm just and it was pretty early on in the book too. I was just thinking along the lines of, Jesus, I am staring at a teenage version of myself right now. And I also cannot get Xavier's chest right for the life of me at the moment. I think it's pretty much like I just need to figure out where the collarbone is. Collarbone was not cooperating. And I do need to, pretty much just figuring out where the chest is supposed to be. And see how the rough sketch differs from when I'm actually trying to okay, while I'm trying to apply the actual proportions I lean to for these chibis. So yeah. But the chest does need to be a little bit more, there we go. And then this is gonna be going into the armhole is gonna be right here. And then his shoulders are actually gonna shout out a little bit more. And then his rib cage, his glorious itty bitty rib cage, is probably gonna be around there somewhere. The thing to note is that this is gonna be his abdominal area. And then just a little straight line down here for his midsection. Going to go ahead and give him the little twist here. And then you're not gonna see much of this single swallow. I feel like his arm is a little too long, but we'll fix that in a bit. Once I get the rest of his body in, we'll probably get a better idea of where that L goes. Hmm. And then his other leggy comes down there. His leg here is going to jut out a little bit, so it's going to be more of a, there we go. So I've been noticing this a lot from specifically my chibis lately, and they're coming out much more taller than I actually want them to. And I think it's because I try to replicate the same or rather the same steps I do whenever I do something that's supposed to be anatomically accurate, and I'm applying that to the chibis where I'm not supposed to be applying them that accurately to the chibis, and I think that's why they're coming out taller than I actually want them to be. Because this is far too tall. Also, with that being said, I know we haven't reached the hour, but it is almost 10 o'clock on my end. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and leave Xavier here for the stream. Please note that for Caleb and Xavier, I am going to be attempting to work on them offline as well because I do want to push out merch for these guys ASAP. And I'm staring at this right now, and I recognize that the proportions are a little too tall for what I'm looking for. And I think um, with me constantly saying I'm EP, probably a good idea to just back off for the evening, let myself rest, and come back to this either tomorrow or the next day. So yeah, I'll go ahead and wrap up the stream here. And thank you everyone for joining. If you did, or if you watch the playback, I really appreciate the views. So thank you and have a good night. That's settings in OBS.